I played like a mixture of sort of from very down tempo through to, you know, really up tempo techno and house. So. Because we get used on a lot of film soundtracks, and it's, you know, and also because the nature of the tracks, there's so much going on, they're kind of quite journey-like in the way that they're put together. That one, I think they sound good as instrumentals. Two, it's a great way of people hearing them for, you know, the other side of the business, as it were. Like coming, you know, I used to do it with Mowax, and it was really, originally it was sort of coming from the hip-hop DJ culture where you were cutting the instrumentals and the vocals together. And yeah, because the nature of the tracks, I think it's quite an interesting experience to hear it as a instrumental piece rather than, you know, kind of works in its own way, or hopefully it works in its own way anyway. You know what, I'm so removed from the whole Mowax thing now, it's weird, it feels like a whole other lifetime ago. I suppose in many ways I always wanted it to be a cult thing, so I think, yeah, the fact that it's become that is part of the legacy of what the label was meant to be about, you know. But it's, you know, it's a pity that it ended, but, you know, it was kind of like a band, and when the band ends, you know, it's one of those things, you know. was an important thing that there was an organic element that was brought into what we did, and there was a way of communicating with people in a live environment. And since that has happened, it's had a massive impact on the way that records are made and the community of people involved. But it was just a natural thing that kind of had to happen for it to step up and actually be seen as not just a studio project, but a, you know, more of a traditional performance-based band. You know, it was important that we did that. You know, but things change, and you know, who knows what will happen in, you know, over the course of time. You know, I never make any promises anymore with the changes that's happened over the years. I like to work with you know, good, interesting, talented artists, and I like to try and discover things, and all of these things came from a very organic process. They're all, you know, I grew up with Tim. I've known him since I was 8 years old. You know, Rich and File came involved in Mowax very early on, and so there's always quite a historical aspect to the journey, you know. But you know, it's about your social environment. It's about supporting your community, you know, and things grow out of that. And you know, I love sort of trying to bring, you know, when discovering and bring the best out of people that you work with, if you can, you know. I mean, Paul Epworth is pretty amazing, you know. I mean, a record like Plan B or Florence and the Machine, to have that kind of balance between something which is very, very commercial and equally very, you know, unique and exciting as you know, as interesting music. I think he's amazing. I think Dave Fridman's an amazing producer, and what he does is great. I'm always intrigued by people like Rick Rubin, just because it's always an interesting journey. You know, there's a lot of people out. There's a lot of great, you know, producers from different genres. You know, whether it be hip hop or techno or through to rock. But I think, you know, Eno, Rick Rubin, Dave Fridman, Chris Goss, they're definitely people that are way up there for me. I DJ, but I don't really go and see people play very much. I mean, I loved Craig Richards, who's a resident Fabric. I love Carl Craig, you know, Richie Hawtin. Lee Burridge is a great DJ. You know, Sasha, when he's good, is fantastic. You know, there's I mean, it's just so many people, you know. There's a lot of, you know, there's just, yeah, like all of these things, and my brain never works when these questions are asked, so it's like that horrible thing where it usually takes me a couple of days to piece it all together. But, you know, I love the Scratch Perverts. I used to have great gigs with them, you know. It was called Daydreaming, and it was like bringing together contemporary artists from different genres of, you know, from smell through to video, through to, you know, painting, to, you know. And it was a collection of 18 artists who reacted to music that we'd made. Some of it retrospective, so you had stuff from science fiction, stuff from war stories, from 3D and Futura, and then, you know, contemporary takes on our work, people like David Nicholson, Jonas Berger, Nathan Coley, you know, Boudica, real mix. You know, there was animatronics. My friend John Noland, who worked on Where the Wild Things Are, doing animatronics. You know, it was a real great mix of stuff. Azzy Glazer, who did Agent Provocateur Perfume, you know, and it was basically just bringing, like with records, this collage of different people and trying to present it in an interesting way, you know.